Hey, in this video, I want to give you a quick tutorial of how to use the MACD RSI. I use this tool all the time when I'm taking trades for entries and exits and just for looking at moves. So with this indicator, you get the RSI, but it's as bands up here, and you can barely see the bands because I've limited them to only the last 25 bars. We can go ahead and we can just put in 0 here, and it will show all of the bars going back as far as possible. So there's a limit there that you can set so you don't get this. Sometimes it's a little messier. And what this is RSI bands. So instead of seeing the RSI down in the bottom relative, so if we add the RSI down here, you can see down in the bottom. So instead of having this indicator down here, we have the RSI up here. And if you look closely, you can see where price is getting overbought up here, overbought. And it's crossing this 70 line. Okay, so the price is actually the RSI in this case. This is just a lot easier for you just to keep your eye on things without having this in the wet. All right, so these bands here are the 70, 80, and 90 bands, and we just use this fill to fill them in. So there's nothing special about this other than the fact that it reduces the noise. It also will go and look up the higher time frames. So here we can see the RSI in the 60 time frame, which is the one we're on, and then the next two, so 240 and 1 day. And we can see on the 1 day we're actually entering the overbought level at 75 for the RSI. So it helps you keep an eye on things at a greater level. So that's what I use that for too, because now I don't need to go in 4 hour and look up where the RSI is there and on the daily and keep track of those things in my head. I'll have all the information right here. And as you go up in time frames, it's actually going to go higher in the time frame too. So that's the RSI that's built into this tool. The second thing of this indicator that I use is the MACD, and the only options we have here is between scalp and swing, because this is the dynamic MACD. The original settings are 12, 26, and 9 that you would find on a default MACD. But with a swing, it actually dynamically filters out all of these smaller MACD levels, and it only shows you the larger waves here. So if I actually, at the bottom of the script, there's calculated bars. So this will, if your script is taking too much time to execute, then if it times out, then you'll want to come down here and set this to a low value. We could set it to 10,000, so the script will run on more bars, which is fine. Okay, and now we can see it going all the way back in time. So right now we're on swing mode, so it filtered out the MACD here, so we have bigger moves. And you can see that happening, right? There's no longer any really small moves in here. If we go back to scalp mode, here we're gonna get a bunch of, look at all these little moves here. So this is where it's gonna show us divergence, and we're gonna get these markers here of indications of where to buy and sell. Okay, they're not going to be 100%. You shouldn't buy and sell on every single one of these, but I use them in my trading to help me align my bias in the right direction. Okay, so for example, I mean, you can just look at the chart right here. Let me go up on a 1 hour time frame so it's not so messy. So this is based off of basically bearish divergence between these waves, and you see here this wave is higher than the second wave. There's a trough down here, a small trough. So we're comparing the peaks of these two waves, and this one is higher than this one. But the price, this peak right here, is actually lower than this peak. So that's divergence. And you see the effect it had here. It started here and then it came down, right? We got the same thing over here, but in the opposite direction. However, that divergence, it appeared here. And we actually keep the historical divergence on here just to give you an example that it's not always going to work out in your favor. So here there's an indication there was bullish divergence, and then on the next bar that bullish divergence disappeared. However, that direction still turned out to be the right direction. But in the cases where the divergence holds throughout the entire wave, there's always a good indication of it moving in that direction, and you can see that here. Okay. And if you can line this up with down with the RSI, then you have a really good trade. All right, so this one, again, it popped down here, but the divergence disappeared, but still went in the right direction. This one, not so much. This is a loser here, and you can see the wave is comparing it against this small wave, which might be an indication to you that it's not going to be a very strong point to take a buy off of, because this is a small wave, and then this bigger one appeared. Okay, and you can see what happened. There was still time to get out if you were to just take these trades blindly. However, they're not signals per se. They're more like indications to give you some insight into the movement of the market. Again, this one right here, small wave, divergence initially on the first bar and then it disappeared. Okay, this one though, right here, and it colored the bar. It colors the bars for as long as there's divergence. Okay, so it started here. You're not going to see this signal until here. As soon as it comes down, then you could wait for it to cross over, or you can jump in right away. So right here, it crossed over the zero, the divergence disappeared because it created a green wave. And if you want to switch to colors, you could just come back to the settings here and change the color mode. I'm still working on these color modes. This is normal color mode. I think I'll change the color for when divergence happens because it just blends in with the opposite wave. So we have red waves, anything below zero is going to be red. And then when there is bullish divergence between these, it turns green. So it blends in here. It colors the candles too, which is cool, but I think I'll change that. And then as well on the multi-time frame indicator table here, it's going to show you divergence for all the time frames. So it's going to be looking at this, and then in real time, if it pops up, it'll show divergence. So maybe we'll see some on a higher time frame here. Nothing. Maybe I'll go down to the 1 minute. I could get off of this. So on this particular asset, there is bullish divergence on the 1 hour time frame. You can see it right here. And this is the 1 minute, but right now this coin is coming down to this RSI level, right? We're at the 27 RSI, and on the 5 minute, we're at the 30. We got 1 minute bullish divergence. It doesn't look like this wave is going to get big enough where that divergence just is going to disappear. So like this could be a good scalp if you wanted to get something like that, right? Whatever that is on this coin. I have no idea. I haven't looked at this coin at all. So I just pulled it up, but it's possible you could grab a scalp like that after getting this kind of signal to pop up. Okay, so it shows up right here. But again, like I wouldn't just take it blindly. This is just to help you. Here we got something similar. Looks like the divergence worked out. Okay, it went up, but not that much, not enough. And again, we're on the 1 minute, so this isn't going to be as powerful on the 1 minute as it would be on a higher time frame. But it still works, just there's more noise on the 1 minute, obviously. So on the 5 minute, we're also getting divergence, but it disappeared here because the trough came lower right here. So we had divergence until we got to this point. Who knows? Other features of this indicator, you can move the table around anywhere on the chart, and you can also change the size of it. And then if you want, you can put it in the subpane down here. Depends where you want it. So you have lots of control over the chart properties. And then if you want, you can actually have a custom size and set the size here. For some people who have different screen resolutions, you could set those values here so it comes up better on your screen. But then there's alerts here, and basically you can select from getting an alert for all of these things, where they're, on the current time frame, if divergence occurs, say in the 5 minute time frame, you'll get an alert. Also on the 15 minute and the 60 minute. So if I set the alert on this indicator right now, I would get an alert if any of those happened. And same thing with the RSI. If the 5 minute RSI was oversold or overbought, it's going to give me an alert. Same with the 15 minute and the 16 minute. So I can go ahead and I had to come here and set an alert with the indicator and do any alert function call. And then I have basically 6 alerts that are going to pop off: the RSI divergences and the RSIs. Sorry, the MACD divergences and the RSIs coming oversold and overbought. So that's how you use this tool. It'd be nice to see some trades happening in motion, but I would keep it on and just look and watch and see how things interact before you start taking some trades blindly. However, I do use this tool a lot. This isn't just something I built because it looks cool. This is something that I use all the time to help me get in and out of trades, and it works on all time frames. Higher time frames obviously have much better accuracy. So here you see this is a buy, this is a sell. Okay, buy. Things are working out pretty good here. Sell, buy, sell. I just pulled up a random chart, and you can see that the signals are pretty good here. And you're not supposed to take the signals blindly, so please don't, but it's accurate to a certain degree. And the swing mode is just for bigger waves. So that's that. If you have any questions, please shoot me a message. I will continue updating this and enhancing it as best I can, and I hope that helps you guys trade better. See you in the next video.